You've decided that it's time to buy a new vehicle. You've gone for the test drive. The vehicle is smooth and responsive, and you can already see yourself pulling up in the driveway. You haggled for a good deal. Check. Chose your color. Check. Selected your balloon payment. Check. Can you still afford vehicle insurance? Check. And petrol? Check. All set? Check. Not so fast. Have you considered safety? How safe is your new vehicle in a crash? What is the likelihood of you and your family walking away after a crash? If the vehicle is not safe, walk away from the deal while you still can. The salesperson smiles and replies either with 5 stars Euro NCAP rating or it has 2 airbags in front, while pushing the contract closer to you for signature. But you are in Africa or some other third world country and not Europe, and although the vehicles might look alike, they are not always the same. I would check the vehicle's new car assessment program star ratings for my region for the make, model, year, and year of NCAP assessment. There are several new car assessment programs, NCAPs, across the world, each with their own specific evaluation criteria. Euro NCAP, the National Highway Traffic Safety Authority, NHTSA, NCAP in the USA, the Australasian NCAP, Latin NCAP, and the Global NCAP, which is for cars from India and Africa. A 5-star Euro NCAP rating when the vehicle was launched in 2017 does not mean 5 stars in Africa under Global NCAP. The crash test protocols and circumstances are different. These protocols are evolving all the time, so the star ratings are valid for a specific time period. Manufacturers also supply vehicles with different safety specifications and structural integrity to third-world countries.
So here we have the Mexican version of the Hyundai, least expensive version of a sedan that you can buy there. But unfortunately, in the crash test, you can see that the body shell has really crumpled extremely badly with the forces of the crash. The door area has collapsed, the A-pillar is bent, the steering wheel has moved back. And with just 2 airbags, the level of protection in the occupant zone is really rather poor, with a high risk of fatal or serious injury. The contrast with this version, which is an American Hyundai, the body shell has really performed well. There are 6 airbags. You can see even the windscreen is more or less intact.
The same vehicle from third-world countries usually gets lower star ratings when crash tested in first-world countries or when compared in crash tests with counterpart vehicles from first-world countries. Further complicating matters in third-world countries is that a newer vehicle does not necessarily mean that it is a safer vehicle.
This is a new car, but sold across markets in Africa. The comparison is with the other vehicle, which is actually an older second-hand vehicle, but coming from Europe.
So if you take a look at the compartments where we're sitting, the first of all is that it's completely collapsed. Steering wheel, it's compressing the dummy, the driver.
So this is a rather dramatic story. It shows that if you're a consumer in Africa, you're actually getting a very poor offer here. You're getting a vehicle that is substandard, that is catastrophically failing in a crash. Whereas the second-hand vehicle bought in Europe, where there are much tougher crash test standards and where Euro NCAP has been driving up vehicle standards, has performed pretty well, and the body shell has held up.
More airbags do not make a car safer, although it usually does. In November 2014, Global NCAP, under its Safer Cars for India, called for the urgent withdrawal of the Datsun Go, 4-door hatchback with no airbags, from the Indian market. It received a 0-star rating. The website statement read that the 2014 Datsun Go's body shell was so unstable that it would be pointless to include airbags in the car. The Datsun simply had to go. I would also interrogate the dummies, even if the vehicle were awarded 5 stars and had a host of standard safety features. In 2023, the Australasian NCAP awarded the 2023 Chery Tiggo Pro 7 with 5 stars, despite the driver's side dummy showing weak protection for the chest area in both the 50 km/h frontal offset crash and the 32 km/h oblique pole test. Yikes! This is not so unusual, as NCAPs generally consider the results of all the tests to determine the star ratings. In 2023, Euro NCAP awarded the BMW 5 Series with 5 stars, despite the marginal rating for the driver's side dummy in the lateral impact side pole test. You must consider the results for each dummy and not just the star ratings. I would also consider how the color ratings for the respective dummies might relate to me for the duration of the period that I am likely to own the vehicle. For example, if my children are currently 1 and 4 years old, and I intend to keep the vehicle for 7 years, I would consider the impact on the dummies that represent the spectrum of their ages during the period that I am likely to own the vehicle. There is no point in me buying a vehicle that is safe for children between the ages of 1 to 4 years old, but is less safe for older children, given that they would be 8 and 11 years by the time I sell the vehicle. Safety ratings are not absolute guarantees of safety. They merely reflect the performance of the vehicle in controlled crash tests and do not account for real-world variables. Choosing a vehicle with a higher safety rating generally reduces the risk of serious harm in the event of a crash. However, other factors such as proper seatbelt usage, airbag deployment, and adherence to traffic laws also play crucial roles in ensuring your safety. If the vehicle has not been assessed for my region, but the salesperson insists that it is exactly the same as the Euro NCAP 5-star vehicle in every way, and if I really had to have that car, ego, check. I would consider its ratings across the different NCAPs, especially those from third world countries, to see how they differ. I would want as many active safety features as possible. I would also consider their ease of use and how likely I am to leave them on. Some people find the systems too intrusive and prefer to switch them off. In the test drive, make sure that all of the active safety features are on so you can assess whether you are likely to use them. I would want electronic stability control, ESC, or electronic stability program, ESP, and anti-brake locking system, ABS, as a minimum. These have been legally required in Europe since 2014. UK statistics suggest that in cars with ESC, the chance of being involved in a fatal accident can be reduced by as much as 25%. In fact, I would check whether the new vehicle model has the same active and passive safety features as the vehicle model that Euro NCAP tested. If any of those tests show that the body shell is unstable, given its critical role in ensuring safety, I'll walk away from the deal. The 2017 Suzuki Swift 1.2 for the European market received 3 stars from Euro NCAP, and the passenger compartment was rated as stable in the frontal offset test. On the other hand, the 2021 Swift with 2 airbags for the Latin market received 0 stars from Latin NCAP, and its body shell was rated as borderline unstable. The 2022 Swift for the Indian market received 1 star from Global NCAP, and its body shell integrity was rated as unstable. As mentioned, body shell integrity is crucial for crash test safety. I would take all of the respective lowest safety ratings for the dummies, that is the poor, weak, and marginal ratings, the red and brown colors, as the baseline for the vehicle. If any of the dummies' areas are shaded red or brown, I'll walk away from the deal. If the body shell is stable, then with the respective dummies' baseline shaded areas in mind, I'll test drive the vehicle again at the speed the tests were done. I'll note the safety ratings as indicated on the dummies at that speed. If I still want the vehicle after that, I'll ask the salesperson for a signed letter from the manufacturer to confirm that the car has the same safety equipment it had when it was assessed by Euro NCAP, and that no other changes have been made which might affect the validity of that rating, and that is going to be a very long wait. I'll walk away while I still can. I must act in the interest of my family by refusing to buy vehicles that are not tested by the relevant regional NCAP, or from buying untested vehicles or vehicles that have poor safety ratings as tested by another third world country's NCAP, and to walk away while I still can.